Hi guys, and welcome back to Keep Smiling Adventures, and in today's video we are doing the route overview, the before you ride the Lakeland 200. Now I've just got finished of the Lakeland 200. What a brutal ride, and in this video I'm going to sort of go over all the things you need to know and you might want to know, and finally giving it a difficulty rating, 1 being super easy, 10 being super hard, and also an overall rating of what I thought of the ride. 1, don't even bother, and 10 being yes, it was the best thing ever, get out there and do it. So this is the route overview video of the Lakeland 200. Let's get into it. Lakeland 200 is a 200 kilometer, 130 mile ride around the Lake District. Officially, this route was created as a mountain bike time trial route, a self-supported race to get around by yourself with no outside help, but is often used as a bikepacking route, taken in big areas of the Lake District over lots of different varieties of terrain. This ride will take you all around the Lake District, nearly completely off-road, with some beautiful scenery, tough climbs and technical descents with plenty of hiker bike. Bridleways, gravel tracks, boggy valleys, mountain descents, and did I mention lots of hiker bike. You will pass through some beautiful and tough places such as Walner Scar Road, the Black Sail Pass, and a chance to climb the iconic Honister Pass. This route, although it takes you through some very exposed remote places, there are plenty of places to stop for pub lunches and cafe stops and B&Bs. As this route is a loop, there are multiple places you can start. However, officially the route starts in a place called Staveley. As this route uses lots of different types of ways, it is best to have a GPS unit for mapping. This route is probably best done early season or late season, avoiding public holidays, as the Lake District is a very popular place with lots of tourists and hikers. Now, to get the most enjoyment out of this route, I would suggest taking your time, at least 4 to 6 days. Now you might think that's quite a long time just for 130 miles, but I can assure you it will definitely make it a lot more bearable. Normally I start off this section with for anyone, but on this occasion I am going to say it's not for everyone. This ride is extremely challenging and a very high level of fitness is needed. Not only fitness, but a very high level of bike handling skill is needed. This route is extremely technical, from techie climbs to techie descents, a lot of which require you getting off and pushing. If you are not a fan of hiker bike, then this route really isn't for you. So this route will suit someone who doesn't mind pushing themselves and likes a really tough challenge, both mentally and physically. A very high level of bike handling skill is a must for this route, as a lot of the route is very steep, very rocky, and can get very technical, up or downhill. This route does include lots of places to stop and refuel, however, so it's not super important to be super self-reliant, and water is very easy to find along the way with lots of streams. If you are someone who likes to really test themselves, then this route is for you. But if you are looking for a more leisurely bikepacking holiday, avoid this route. Sorry to say, gravel bikers, but this route really isn't for you. I'm sure some of you could make it around and you will have a slightly easier time hiking it over the mountain passes. However, you will be wishing for more bike. For this route, you really are going to want a full-on mountain bike. A full suspension mountain bike would be the best option here, or at least a very capable hardtail. And a dropper post will definitely help you. You will probably want at least 2.5-inch tires or as close as that to help you on the really rough terrain. The Plus bike was okay for this route and it's definitely a good option. However, even with the bigger tires, this route was still really rough on the body. And the Plus bike is a bit more cumbersome when it comes to hiking the bike. The lighter your bike, the better. With this route, as there is a lot of hiker bike over really rough terrain. The gearing on your bike is going to be important here, but honestly, even with the easiest gearing setup today, you will still find yourself hiking up sections of this route. But get the easiest gearing you possibly can to give yourself a fighting chance. Now there are lots of places to stay along this route, from official campsites to B&Bs and plenty of places to wild camp. Although this is England, so technically not allowed, so if you do decide to wild camp, set up late, leave early and leave no trace. However, and this is a bit of a unique one for me, as I love to always wild camp on my trips, as it's the true form of adventure for me. But I'd highly recommend trying to plan this route out with B&B stops for the night, just purely so you don't need to carry as much stuff. The closer you can have your bike to just a standard bike without all the gear strapped to it, the more I think you will enjoy this route. Lugging a fully loaded bike up and down mountains can quickly become very tiresome and annoying, so the lighter you can get your bike, the better. This route starts at Staveley, which has a train station. If you are south of Manchester, then your best bet is to head to Manchester Piccadilly and take the Northern Windermere train, which stops at Staveley. Northern trains don't require bookings to take your bike on the train, however these trains can become quite busy and are limited on space, so it's best to avoid busy times such as commuting times and public holidays. If you are coming from north of the route, your best bet will be to head to Penrith train station and join the route at Pooley Bridge. But please check with the train company you are travelling with about their bike policy. This route is not easy. In fact, it's a route that will test your resolve, your mental and physical strength. It's a 9 out of 10 for difficulty for me. It's not the longest route you will ever do, but in 200k, 130 miles with over 20,000 foot or 6,000 meters of climbing in that distance, you sure as hell will know about it. This route is not just hard because it's physically and mentally demanding route, but the actual terrain of the route will test your skills and test your nerve. Pushing your bike up a mountain pass for hours at a time, or trying to descend some of the steep, rocky sections, you will need to keep your wits about you, as the route is incredibly unpredictable. It's not a route that rewards you with the sweet relief of nice descents. The only relief you get is the views. Now, I went round this route clockwise, which is officially the way the mountain bike race of this version works and is the correct way. However, I do feel like going in an anti-clockwise might be a slightly easier option, because the downhills do feel like they may just be a slightly bit easier to ride. However, whichever way you go, it's going to be incredibly hard. The final rating for me on this route is a hard one, because on one hand this route is incredible, on the other hand it kind of sucks. Now let me explain. If I was rating this based on what the route traditionally was made for, a self-supported mountain bike time trial route, then I'd be giving it a 9 out of 10. But I'm not. I'm rating it based on a bikepacking route, and everyone is different in what they want from a bikepacking route, and this is just my opinion. But for me, a bikepacking route needs to reward you when you overcome the test that any said routes give you. What do I mean by that? Well, if you spend an hour hiking your bike up a mountain pass, then I want to be rewarded with being able to ride down it, and this is mostly not the case for a huge part of this ride. The route will have you hike up and scramble down as well. Even when you do get descents that are mostly rideable, they are still very stop and start, with unrideable sections making the flow of this route very low. The fact that I think this route is better to do without carrying your gear on your bike, I think tells you that as a mountain bike route, it's great, but as a bikepacking route, you know, when you pack your bike and live off your bike, this route just didn't really do it for me. Don't get me wrong, the beautiful views are incredible, but if you are too busy scrambling your bike up mountain passes, knowing that you will most likely not be able to ride the other side, it just becomes very tedious. So I will give this route as a bikepacking route a generous 5 out of 10, but as an epic mountain bike route, 9 out of 10. Right guys, so there we have it, the before you ride route overview of the Lakeland 200, and wow, what a brutal ride that was. My back is still absolutely killing me from all that hiking up and down the mountains and lugging my bike up and down. It was just a very brutal one that really did test me. Definitely a very tough route to do, especially on a fully loaded bike. Now, if this video helped you to decide if you're going to take on the Lakeland 200 bikepacking route, then give it a thumbs up. And if you are not subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing, and let's keep this channel growing. And until next time guys, keep smiling, enjoy the adventure. Peace.